All right, we're going to start with today's practice with um, just cross-legged seat and relax your shoulders. Today we're going to focus a little bit on our core. We'll do some poses that's going to help us be a little strong on our core. So keep your straight spine and then relax your shoulders. Gently close your eyes and let's consciously arrive at this moment. Breathing in deeply through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. One more time, breathe in and breathe out. Bring your hands in the form of a prayer in front of your heart and bow your chin towards your chest. Acknowledge your feeling today, acknowledge what your mind tells you, your body tells you, and we'll go with the flow. And slowly reset your head, open your eyes. And today we're going to bring our hands on our lap and then bring your right palm, stretch it out behind you. So your palm is facing to the back. And then bend your right elbow and bring your right palm over to your left hip, just to open up that shoulder. And then bring your left palm on top of your right knee and just turn to the back. Breathing in, breathing out. Gently move your head a little more to see the back of your space and consciously keep a straight spine. Breathe in and breathe out. Now release the half bind with your right palm and bring your right palm on your lap and your left palm on your left lap. This time lift your left palm out towards the left. Your palm is facing the back, bend your left elbow and then bring it behind your right hip. Opening up the left shoulder, bring your right palm on top of your left knee and use that movement to assist your upper body to twist towards the back. Again, consciously keeping a straight spine. Look towards the back of your space, breathe in and breathe out. And gently release yourself back to the center and bring your palms on your lap. We're going to bring our feet together to touch, opening up our knees wide and just move your knees up and down, opening up the inner thighs. Take a deep breath in, lift your spine up, look up towards the ceiling and breathe out. Drop your head over your feet and maybe grab a hold of your feet as you bend forward in butterfly pose. Feel the stretch in your inner thighs. Maybe you want to drop your knees outward a little more so you feel that stretch. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, just sink in a little deeper. Maybe your forehead comes closer to your toes. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, rise up. And we're going to bring our knees together to touch. And just drop your knees to one side and bring your hands to the same side towards the back. And look towards the back of your space for a twist. Breathe in, breathe out. And slowly release and then drop your knees over to the opposite side. And then bring both palms towards the back of your mat, opening up your chest towards the back. Breathe in and breathe out. And come back to the center. And bring your feet out to the front about hips width distance, palms next to your hips, and then lift your hips up, drop your head back, opening up your chest towards the ceiling, reverse tabletop. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, and as you breathe out, bring your hips down. Okay, beautiful. Let's bring our legs to one side and find tabletop. Hands underneath your shoulders and knees underneath your hips. Adjust yourself so your spine is parallel to the mat, and then just move your hips from side to side. Rotate your hips in one direction, moving forward and back towards your heels, and then pause and then take your circles in the opposite direction. And come back to a neutral spine. We're going to do some wrist stretches today. So for that, just fold your right palm so that your fingers point towards your body, and then just move back and forth. You can have a slight bend in your right elbow, and you're just going to move your hips towards your heels, come back to the front. Move your hips towards your heels, come back to the front. And then once you have that, leave your right palm the way it is, and then fold your left palm inward so your left fingertips face your body, and then do the same thing, just move back and forth. If this stretch feels too intense, just keep your elbows really bent towards the outside, and then gently bring your right palm facing down and your left palm facing down so your fingers are pointing towards the front of the mat. Now let's move it to the sides. So rotate your right palm so your fingers are facing towards the outer edge of the mat, long edge of the mat, and then your left palm faces the opposite direction. Almost like if you look at your palms, they look like wings of a bird or whatever. And then just move from left to right. Your body weight shifts from one palm to the other. Again, just opening it up. And the last one we're going to do is rotate your right palm this way to the back, and then you're going to land on your right palm. And the same thing with the left. Rotate it towards the back, and then again move back and forth with your body, opening up your wrist. Breathe in, breathe out. And gently release your palms from the mat and take a seat on your heels. And we're just going to rotate our wrists to the front to release all of that intense feeling that we experienced now. And then rotate it in the opposite direction. And just cross your hands and give yourself a big hug. Drop your head into your bent elbows and rotate your spine so your head is facing down and your spine is arched behind you. Breathe in. Open up your palms wide like a T shape. Look up towards the ceiling. Breathe out. Again, hug yourself. Closing your body into your elbows. Breathe in. Open up your palms. Breathe out. Bend your elbows and give yourself a hug. Release, and let's come back to a tabletop position. Now, as you breathe in, bring your right toes behind you and just rock back and forth, opening up the back of your right leg. And then bring your right foot flat on the mat and your left foot slightly towards the back of your space, and lift your right hand up for a supported side plank. Make sure that your left shoulder is away from your left ear and you face towards the right palm above your head towards the ceiling. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, bring your right palm towards the front of the mat and just stay there for a couple of breaths, feeling this beautiful stretch on the side. Breathe in, breathe out, and slowly drop your right palm down and your left knee down. And now let's bring our left foot back and rock back and forth, opening up the back of the left leg. Drop your left foot down. Bring your right foot slightly towards the back. Lift your left palm up. And then keeping both the shoulders in line, make sure that your right shoulder is not close to your ear like this. You're just going to push it out and find this supported side plank. Breathe in, breathe out. And now bring your left palm towards the front of your mat, feeling this beautiful stretch on the left side. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, bring your left palm down to the mat and bring your left knee down to the mat and move your hips from side to side. And let's bring our big toes to touch. Set your seat on your heels and your forehead down to the mat for child's pose. Breathe in, breathe out. Remember that the child's pose is available to you throughout the practice at any time. And now lift your head up. And we're going to go straight to downward facing dog. So lift your knees and hips up and find downward facing dog. Let your gaze be towards the back of your space between your big toes. And you're going to drop your heel one at a time, opening up the outer hip. And as you do this, maybe exaggerate the movement a little bit. Just move your shoulders in and out. So as your left heel drops down, your right shoulder comes in. And just do this movement a few times. And then come back to stillness in downward dog. Breathe in, roll forward to a plank pose. Go all the way down to the mat as you breathe out. Untuck your toes, lift your chest up, breathe in. Tuck your toes, lift your knees and hips up, downward facing dog. Now as you breathe in, lift your right leg up, three-legged dog. Bend your right knee and bring your right knee towards your right elbow. So move your body forward and let it touch your right elbow. Lift your right leg up, breathe in. And bring it towards your left elbow now. Cross it over and let it touch your left elbow. Breathe in, lift it up. Breathe out, bring it all the way forward and let your right foot be planted between your palms. Drop your left knee down, untuck your toes, lift your hands up, Anjaneyasana or crescent lunge pose. Breathe in, drop your head back, a slight back bend, and as you breathe out, sink your hips down further towards the mat. Find this beautiful opening with your chest and your hips. And as you breathe in, look up. Breathe out, circle your arms wide and down, framing your front foot. Lift your right hand up as you breathe in. And then slowly push off from your left palm and come to a twist. So T-shape with your hands. You're just going to twist to the right. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, bend your left elbow, bring it outside of your right knee, and then bring a prayer with your palms, twisting towards the right. So a low lunge twist. Use the force from the left elbow to push your right knee inward to allow for that nice juicy stretch in your right outer hip. Breathe in, breathe out. Release the prayer from your hands and then frame your right foot. Now lift your right hand up, circle it back towards the left leg. Bend your left knee and grab a hold of your left foot with your right palm. So you're just going to look towards the back of your space, opening up your right shoulder towards the right. And maybe bring your left foot closer towards your hip. Breathe in, And breathe out. Release your left foot, bring your right hand up, forward, and down. And then lift your back leg, breathe in, and then step back, downward facing dog. Roll forward to a plank pose. Bend your elbows, go all the way down to the mat. Lift your chest up, breathe in, and lift your hips up, downward facing dog. This time, lift your left leg up as you inhale, three-legged dog. Bend your left knee and then bring your left knee towards your left elbow as you bring your body forward. Breathe in, lift your left leg up, bend it and cross it over to the right elbow, bringing your upper body forward. Breathe in, lift your left leg up again, and this time bring your foot forward between your palms. Drop your back knee down, untuck your toes, lift your arms up, Anjaneyasana or crescent lunge pose. Again, as you breathe in, hold that imaginary ball above your head. Drop your head back. Breathe out, sink into your hips a little more, opening up the right hip. Breathe in, drop your head back. Breathe out, sink into your hips. Now circle your arms widen down to frame your left foot. And lift your left hand up as you breathe in for a low lunge twist towards the left. And then push off from your right palm and find this T shape with your arms opening up towards the left side. Use, use your upper body to turn towards the left. So if you feel like you're slumping towards the corner, just use your upper body strength to turn towards the left. Bend your right elbow, bring it outside of your left knee, and bring your palms to meet to a low lunge twist. Breathe in and breathe out. Slowly release the prayer and then bring your left hand up, and again this time an option to bring it back towards your right leg, bending your right knee and grab a hold of your right foot, opening up your chest towards the back. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, release your right foot, bring your left palm up, forward and down. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Drop your knees down as wide as the mat. Let your big toes touch. Set your seat back, child's pose. Breathe in and breathe out. Lift your chest up. And we're going to find downward facing dog again. And today, let's bring our big toes to touch and move it towards about the center of the mat. Bending your knees deeply. You're just going to take a small hop towards the front of the mat. Breathe in and then bring your feet to the front. Drop your upper body over your long legs and find this beautiful forward fold, Uttanasana. Again, we are using this inversion to allow for the blood flow to reach our mind, our heart. Just relax. Move your hands from left to right as you hang heavy over your legs. And now come back to stillness in forward fold. Breathe in. Bring your palms towards your shins, halfway lift. Breathe out, fold over your legs. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, fold over your legs. And lift your hands up as you breathe in. High prayer. Hands to heart, hands by your side, mountain pose or Tadasana. Let's do one round of sun salutations. Breathe in, lift your hands up. Breathe out, fold over your legs. Step your right foot back as you breathe in, and then your left downward facing dog. Roll forward to a plank pose. Go halfway or all the way down to the mat. Lift your chest up, breathe in, upward facing dog or cobra pose. Lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up, breathe in. Bring it all the way forward between your palms. Lift your chest up, push off from your left foot and bring it forward to meet your right. Fold over your legs. Lift your hands up, breathe in. Hands to heart, hands by your side, mountain pose or Tadasana. Take a brief pause and close your eyes and see how you feel in your body and mind. Maybe you want to slow down your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Open your eyes. Breathe in, lift your arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. Breathe out, fold over your legs, Uttanasana. Step your left foot back, breathe in. And then your right downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank pose. Bend your elbows, go halfway or all the way down. Lift your chest up, breathe in. Lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg off the mat, three-legged dog, breathe in. Bend it and bring it all the way forward, low lunge. Lift your chest up, breathe in. Push off from your right foot, bring it forward, fold over your legs. Lift your hands up, high prayer. Hands to heart, hands by your side, mountain pose or Tadasana. Again, slow down your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. We're just going to turn to face each other, bringing our legs wide. And just keep your toes pointing towards the corners of the mat. And then bring your hands to your heart and bend one knee and then bend the other. So take like small lunges on either side. And then come back to the center. And now we're going to bring our heels closer and bend both knees and bring our hips towards the mat. You can go as deep as your body allows you to. So now breathe in, lift your hands up. Breathe out, bring your prayer to your heart and sink into your hips. Goddess pose. Breathe in, lift your hands up. Breathe out, sink into your hips. This time, breathe in, lift your hands up and open up your palms. Just bend your right knee, sink into warrior two. Breathe in, peaceful warrior. Drop your head back, lift your right arm above your head. Breathe out, warrior two. Breathe in, peaceful warrior. Breathe out, warrior two. Now bend your right knee, right elbow and bring it on top of your right knee. Bring your left arm above your head for an extended side angle twist. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, you're going to straighten your right leg and just bring your right palm on top of your right shin or foot, releasing your left arm above your head for triangle pose, Trikonasana. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, bring your left palm forward and down and find yourself in wide-legged forward fold. Breathe in, lift your head up halfway, and as you breathe out, fold over your legs again. From here, we're gonna lift our head up, breathe in, and then bend your right knee so you're sinking into your hips, and your left foot, you're just gonna rotate it so you come onto your left heels and your left toes are pointing straight up, and maybe release your palms from the mat and bring it in the form of a prayer for Skandasana. You can look towards your left foot, breathe in, and as you breathe out, bring your palms to the mat, and then lift yourself off, come back to that forward fold, and just release yourself up all the way. Bring your palms all the way up to meet. Breathe in, hands to heart, hands on your hips, and let's do that goddess pose again. So bring your heels towards the center, hands to heart, lift your hands up, breathe in, bend your knees, sink into your hips, breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out, goddess pose. Breathe in. And this time you're going to bring your hands wide in the form of a T, bend your left knee, and bring your right foot maybe to the back a little bit to open up for warrior two. Flip your left palm, tip back for peaceful warrior. Breathe in, come back to warrior two, breathe out. Tip your left palm back, breathe in, come back to warrior two, breathe out. This time bend your left elbow and let it land on top of your left knee, right arm above your head for extended side angle. Use the left elbow to move your left knee towards the back and keep this nice stretch going from your right fingertips to the outer edge of your right foot. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, straighten your left leg. Bring your left palm on top of your left shin or ankle. And then lift your right arm above your head for triangle pose. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, circle your top arm in front of your face and find that wide-legged forward fold. Breathe in. Halfway lift. Breathe out. Fold over your wide legs. Again, breathe in. Halfway lift. And this time, bend your left knee. Come onto the ball of your left foot. And then your right heel is on the mat with your right toes pointing straight up. Once you find that position with your legs, push your palms off the mat and bring a prayer with your palms for Skandasana. Look towards your right foot, breathe in, and as you breathe out, bring your palms down and use that force to come back to wide-legged forward fold. Lift your hands up, breathing in, all the way up, hands to heart, and just bring your feet together now. Good. Let's find the top of the mat. And we're going to bring our hands up, breathing in, gentle back bend, and then release your hands widen down and bend your right knee and maybe grab a hold of your right foot in, so your right heel is moving in towards your back, and lift your left hand up as you balance on your left leg. Keep your chest lifted and breathe in. As you breathe out, release your right foot, release your left hand down towards the left. Other side, lift your right hand up, bend your left knee and grab a hold of your left foot with your left palm. And maybe pull your left heel towards the back as you lift your chest up, keeping a straight spine. Breathe in and breathe out. Release your left foot. Release your right hand down. Move your hands forward and up. Breathe in. Sink your hips back towards your heels. Chair pose. So you're just going to look at your toes and see if you can find them just a little ahead of your knees. Once you have that, just lift your head up. Breathing in. Rise up all the way. Breathe out. Hands to your side. Mountain pose or Tadasana. I'm just going to show you a pose. You can watch and then you can try to do it. And just go only as far as your body allows. We're going to do side plank. So for side plank, first we're going to bring our hands up, breathe in, and then go all the way down. And then we're going to bring our right foot back and then the left downward facing dog. Roll forward to a plank pose and then come on to the outer edge of your left foot and lift your right hand up to balance on your left outer edge. And if you want, you can bring your hips up further. And once you're ready to come out of it, bring your right palm down, bend your knees slightly and come back to downward dog. And then find child's pose. If balancing just on your palm and your outer edges being too hard, you could just drop your left knee down and do the supported side plank version. So let's do that, and we can do it on both sides. Lift your hands up, breathe in, fold over your legs, breathe out. Bring your right foot back, low lunge, and then your left foot back, downward facing dog. Now as you roll forward to a plank pose, breathing in, just rotate so you come on to the outer edge of your left foot and release your right hand up. Beautiful. And lift your hips up, breathe in. And slowly bring your right hand down, coming back to your plank pose and then lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Really nice. And drop your knees down, maybe not as wide as the mat, just a little bit, and sink your hips to your heels, child's pose. Now lift your head up, and we're just going to do that on the other side. So lift your hips up, downward facing dog. This time roll forward to a plank pose and then go to your right edge, right outer edge of your foot, and then lift your left hand up facing the opposite side. Maybe lift your hips up further. Bring your left palm forward, breathe in, and come back to plank pose and then lift your hips up, downward facing dog. This time we're going to just land our entire body on the mat. So just come to your stomach, release everything down. Bring one palm on top of the other and rest your forehead on top of your palms. Breathe in, breathe out. Now bring your palms forward like Superman and then lift your head up and lift one arm up off the mat and then the other looking towards the front. Breathe in, lift your chest up, breathe out. Bring your body down to the mat. Breathe in, lift both hands up and maybe lift both feet off the mat and just balance on your lower belly, abdomen. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, sink into the mat. This time we're going to try to bend both knees and grab a hold of our feet. Breathe in, lift your chest up, bow pose, and as you breathe out, Release yourself down to the mat. Bring one cheek on the mat and just close your eyes. Breathe in, breathe out. Now we're going to lift our head up and we're going to find child's pose again. So just sink into your hips and bring your forehead down. Lift your chest up and come onto your heels. Bring your legs to one side and bring them all the way forward. Now, as you breathe in, lift your hands up. Bring it all the way forward and grab a hold of your feet, dropping your head down over your legs. This pose really allows to stretch the entire back body, all the way from the backs of our legs to our upper back, lower back, everything. As you breathe in, lift your chest up and then sink your head down, breathe out. Maybe you go closer to your knees. Breathe in, lift your head up and rise all the way up. Bend your right knee, give it a hug, and then drop your right foot outside of your left leg. And bend your left knee now and bring your left foot outside of your right hip. You can hug your left knee with your right elbow and then bring your right palm behind you for a twist. Breathe in, breathe out. Slowly release the twist. And then one of my favorite poses, bring your right knee on top of your left and your palms down and your elbows land on the mat, and you're just going to bring your chin on top of your right knee and allow this natural organic opening with your right outer hip. Breathe in, breathe out. And then one more opening for the right outer hip. You're just going to bend your right knee and bring your entire right leg towards your body. So hold your shin and rock your leg right to left like a baby. Lift your chest up and then slowly release your right leg and then your left towards the front. Bend your left knee this time, give it a big hug and bring your left foot outside your right hip. Bend your right knee and bring your right foot outside your left hip. Bend your right elbow and hug your left knee, bringing your left palm behind you for a twist. Use this force of your left palm to push the mat away, opening up your chest towards the back, and consciously keep your left shoulder away from your left ear. Breathe in, breathe out. Release from the twist and let the left knee fall over your right knee, bringing your palms to either side of your knees. Land your elbows down on the mat and bring your chin on top of your left knee and feel this nice opening on the left outer hip. Breathe in and breathe out. Lift your chest up and again bring your left leg up and then just wrap your arms around your shin and rock your baby. Breathe in. Move your leg closer to your chest. And as you breathe out, release your leg in the front and your other leg out to meet it Move your hips forward and roll onto your backs. And bring your knees up this time. And we're going to do a movement of rolling on our backs. So just rock back and forth a few times and then use this momentum to come onto your hips and find boat pose, Navasana. Your knees are still bent and your hands are framing your legs. Keep your gaze towards your feet. Breathe in. As you breathe out, bring your feet down and bring your entire back to the mat. Beautiful. We're going to lift our hips up for bridge pose. Interlace your fingers underneath your hips to find the further lift with the hips. You could try lifting one leg off the mat and just balancing on one leg and then bring it down slowly and bring your hips down to the mat. Let's do another round. Breathe in, lift your hips up, keeping your shoulder blades together, interlace your fingers underneath your hips and then lift your other leg off the mat, giving that love to your left glute if your right leg is up. Breathe in, bring your leg down and your hips down. Beautiful. Now bring your knees in towards your chest, give it a big hug, and then bring your knees wide open. Grab a hold of your feet and move from left to right. Happy baby pose. Just like a happy baby, move anyhow you want. Just massage your lower back. Bring your foot in towards your body, stretch your legs. Feel free to do any final movements before we release into Shavasana. So whenever you're ready, release your entire body down to the mat and just allow yourself to sink into the mat, consciously releasing any tension anywhere we're holding our muscles too tight. Just let it all go. Starting from the top of your head, relax your entire body, your forehead, eyes, nose, mouth, neck, unclench your jaw, relax your eyelids, shoulders, hands, chest, stomach, hips, thighs, calves, knees, feet, toes, and fingers, and your fingertips and your tips of your toes. Almost like you have zero control of the body right now. You're just trusting the earth to take the entire weight of your body. Breathe in, breathe out. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Interlace your fingers and take a deep morning stretch. Stretch your legs, stretch your arms above your head. Bend one knee and the other and then turn to face one side in a cozy fetal position. Push off from your palm and then come to a seated cross-legged position, still keeping your eyes closed. Bring a prayer with your palms and bow your chin towards your chest. Fill your heart with gratitude for everything there is and everything that is to come. Thank yourself for showing up on the mat, and I thank you for letting me guide you through this practice. Namaste.